Welcome to Factorio for Dummies. My name's Valerian. In this series, I'm going to break down how to succeed at Factorio and launch that first rocket in a simple and easy to understand way with little to no confusion on how to get started. One of the things I like about Factorio is that it challenges you at any level of intelligence. This game is always asking you the question, how smart are you? Before we begin, let me make some things clear. This is not a speed run, and I'm not a speedrunner. I am not the absolute best Factorio player. My style is by no means perfect, but it gets the job done. I give you a way that works and is easy to copy and implement for yourself. And by all means, take what I teach you and put your own spin on it. You may discover something that takes what I teach and makes it better. Everyone has their own way of doing things. Also, all the designs with a few exceptions are simple and easy to use. Another thing, I did not come up with every design I build in this series. Some of them I got off the internet. So search around for your own blueprints if you are unsatisfied with one of the blueprints I showcase. So let's start a new game here. Hit play and go to new game. Now we're going to import my map string from one of my previous saves. And we'll click this map exchange string button right here. Hit copy, hit confirm, back. And then we'll hit this little button right here, import map string, hit Control V, hit confirm, and now it's got my map with the original settings. For learning purposes, I suggest you turn cliffs off right here. It will only give you an even bigger headache than this game will initially give you if you keep it on. Even with my videos, your head is going to explode at times. Hopefully, if you follow what I say, that won't happen. I also recommend turning on the peaceful setting for your first map. Then once you get the hang of this game and you are ready, you can go and attack some biters, the bug-like creatures that are found all over the map. So put it on peaceful. Go to enemy, and you make sure peaceful mode is checked. To be more specific, peaceful mode will make it so that the enemies will not attack you until you attack them first. So you can go the entire game without attacking them and you won't have any problems with them as long as you don't attack any of them. Next, we are going to preview the map. You want at least 4 things in your starting area if you're going to be successful. Let's hit the preview button. Now, this is a pre-generated map. Okay, so you want iron ore right here, little blue dots. You want coal, little black dots. You want copper, little orange dots. And you want stone, little beige dots. And you want them in the center of the map. You see these red dots? These are enemies. You don't want your starting resources to be too close to any of the enemy camps. So we got our resources right here, our stone, our iron, our coal, or copper. There you go. If you do not have all 4 of these, then click the random seed button to get a new map. 2 other things that you'll want to have, especially if you are not in peaceful mode, that will make the game easier are some trees and a water source of some kind, even if it's just a small lake. So these little green dots, these are trees. You want to make sure you have some of them around your starting area. In actuality, especially if you're going to not play on peaceful, the more trees you have in your starting area, the better you off generally late game. Also, you're going to want to be near some water, so we have a water source right here and some trees, so we're good to go there. And to make another seed or shuffle the map, you just hit random seed. So you click on it, it shuffles the map. Now I just import the string again, and it changes it back to what it was. It's your preference whether you want to start in grass or desert. A lot of people like grass, but it's not a requirement. Just remember, the less trees you have in your starting area, the more pollution you will generate. You always need to be thinking long-term in Factorio. That tiny factory may be good now, but what if you need a bigger one later? That is the mindset you need to have. Luckily, you have this video to help you cut out the guesswork. However, some of Factorio is hands-on learning. You can only teach so much with words. Let's get started then. Hit the play button. This is Factorio Free Play. Your task is to launch a rocket into space. You will need to research advanced technologies in order to unlock the rocket silo. Start small, work your way up with automation, and don't forget to protect yourself from the natives, aka the bugs. You start with a pistol, 10 yellow magazines or ammo, a miner, a furnace, 1 wood, and 8 iron plates. First thing you want to do is find some coal. Let's go over here and... So, you look on the map. You can zoom in by using a scroll wheel. The little beige dot right here, that's you, right? And this is where the coal is. They can be kind of hard to see when your map is zoomed out like this, so make sure you zoom in a little bit. And looks like we got one here next to our iron and copper patches. So anyway, now you want to sit here and get around 10 to 20 coal by holding right click on the coal when you're standing above it. We're gonna get about 20 here. And we're almost there. Then place the miner on the iron patch and place the furnace so that it is touching the miner. So we're going to place the miner right here. And place the furnace to where it's touching the miner. Now, one thing I forgot to mention is that this little yellow arrow that pops up when you select the furnace needs to be pointed at the furnace, and the furnace needs to be kind of connected to the side that this yellow arrow is coming out of. The miner will automatically throw iron into the furnace. Make sure you split your coal evenly among the furnace and the miner. You can always mine by hand if you need more. So we're going to go ahead and split our coal in half. We're going to throw some coal in there. We're going to throw some coal in the furnace as well. Now they're working, and they're working together. We've got the burner drill is mining and placing the ore in the furnace, and the furnace is taking that ore and smelting it into plates. Also, you can split a stack by right-clicking it. Like the stack of iron, hit right-click, it splits it into 4. So this is how you can evenly divide the coal between these two. Now that that's done, your first goal is to make 3 more miners. Mine coal while your furnace makes 36 iron plates. So, I'm gonna sit here and mine some coal while the miner and the furnace works. It keeps generating iron plates because we're gonna need them. We want about 36 of them. That's enough for a box and for 3 more miners. Alright, and we have 37. Once it's done making them, take the plates and the coal you mined and head to the nearest stone patch. So right over here, and again, hit the map button. We see we have a beige stone patch right here. So we're going to go head over there. So let's go ahead and mine some stone. Do the same thing you did at the coal patch. Just going to mine some stone until we can make a miner. That's 5, so that should be enough. Make another miner. And place the miner on the ground. And then we're going to put coal in it. We're also going to make an iron box. And we're going to place the iron box right there. And if you place it, connecting it to the yellow arrow, just like with the furnace, it'll throw stone in there. The miner is now mining stone and automatically putting it in the iron box for you. Note that it does not have to be iron. If you want, you can make it a wood box too. So let's mine some stone, then we're going to take the stone that the miner mined and that I mined, and we'll put it together. I think we can get about 30. I think that should be enough. 36, that should be enough. So we're going to leave the coal in here, and we'll leave the miner to mine. And this miner will mine while we go off back to our iron patch. Now go back to the furnace and control left click on it. You'll see some numbers with a plus sign. What you just did was take out all the iron plates that the furnace produced while you were away. And make 3 more miners. So go ahead, 1, 2, 3. Now place 2 down with the yellow arrows facing each other like this. In order to place the second one, hit the R key while you have it moving around, and it'll move around. You hit the R key and it rotates it. Have it rotated so that the yellow arrow is pointed towards the other coal miner, and place it down. Now their yellow arrows are pointed towards each other, and we'll just put a piece of coal in here. Have to mine one. The coal miners will eventually begin to feed each other coal, building up a steady supply without you having to do anything. So now we are automatically building coal, which is great. Just like we did with control left clicking the iron furnace, we're going to start control left clicking the coal miners as well. And we'll just chill out here for a second. You should have plenty of fuel from the coal you just gathered. Throw some in your iron miner and furnace. We'll make 3 more miners. We'll put them like this. And we'll just do 3 furnaces for now. With 3 miners. And we're going to grab the coal out of here. Power the miners using right click to evenly divide. So at this point, you guys notice that I can't build any more furnaces. We need to put a miner on this copper patch and a furnace connected to it so we can start mining copper plates, but we don't have enough stone. So we're gonna go walk back to the stone mine and we're gonna look in the box and see how much stone we've been gathering since we've been doing all this. Well, look at that. We have 80 stone. One thing you can do with the boxes is click the red X, then click one of the boxes towards the middle top row. What you just did is set the box to only take 5 stacks of stone and refuse any more than that. You won't even be able to shift click items into the box unless you manually drag each stack at a time there or click the red X again to readjust. I'd leave it at a 5 stack limit for now. You won't need much more than that. If you weren't able to make furnaces to match the miners you made, go ahead and make them now with all the stone you gathered. Now you want to be frequently control left clicking your furnaces and your coal miners for resources. Now this one's about to run out of coal. Let's just give him some. So let's go over here and build a copper mine. Place a miner on top of the copper. You know the deal. Make a furnace. Place the furnace. Place the furnace next to the yellow arrow. And then grab some more coal. And fill these with it. Now it'll start making copper plates. And just keep control left clicking on the furnaces and the coal miners. You just want to be constantly doing this. Head over the copper furnace and control click that as well and take the copper plates out of it. You now have the materials to make an offshore pump. Go ahead and make one. Use the iron and stone you got to make 2 more miners. Place your miners next to the coal miners to make a square. So we're gonna get a couple of these. And we're going to place them down. Place them down like that. Then hover the mouse over each placed miner and press R to change the direction of the yellow arrow. So now that it's placed, we can press R as well to change the arrow after it's been placed. So you want to change the arrows so it's like this. This one's feeding this one, this one's feeding this one, this one's feeding this one, and then this one's feeding that one in an endless cycle. So now they're all feeding each other coal and they're all building up a big reserve of coal twice as fast as your original 2 were building it. You can just control left click on all of them. And constantly grab the coal that they mine. Let them run for a bit, control click them again. So I control click them again. Now go chop some wood, preferably near a water source. So let's go head down here to this wood. Looks like we got some next to the water source down there. Alright, once you've got 50 or so wood, head to the nearest water source. Click your offshore pump in your inventory and exit your inventory. So, here at the water source, click on the offshore pump, exit the inventory. With the offshore pump selected, click on the green squares along the coastline. So, just any one of them. And when it lights up green, that means you can place it, by the way. If it's red, you can't place it there, obviously. So now make an underground pipe like this. This right here. Make this pipe to ground, it's called, but I call it an underground pipe because it is. Then make a pipe, this guy right here. Now a boiler, so this guy right here. And then a steam engine. Now you're going to need a lot of small electric poles, these things right here. I like to call these power poles. They're easier to say. Instead of left clicking the icon like this to make one of them, right click to make 5 at a time. So we're going to go 5 at a time. Do this until you've made about 20 power poles. So we're going to click this about 1, 2, 3 more times. Now make a burner inserter, this guy right here. Now it's going to queue up, but there we go. Built it. Okay, now place your underground pipe like this. so it's connected to the offshore pump, and then move your mouse in a straight line out from the pump like this to see the dashes that drag along when I move my mouse the right way. See that? Whoop, 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 whoop. Just like that, back and forth. All right, so obviously you see it only goes so far. So place the second part of the underground pipe anywhere there are dashed lines like this. So probably right up here. Okay, now place the boiler near the pipe you just placed, right about here. Remember, you can rotate it again by pressing R. So if we wanted to, we could make it go that way, but we want it to be this way, so just hit R again. Now I have my Alt key as push to talk, but by default, press Alt and this is what happens. Bam. Now I can see extra information and symbols on the pieces I am placing in the world, and they stay that way as long as this mode is selected. It's called Alt mode. You'll see the boiler as a blue arrow by itself and blue back and forth arrows on either side. You can also see 2 water droplets and a steam symbol that looks like a puffy cloud right here. Rotate your steam engine that you made and place it with the back and forth arrows connected to the big blue single arrow on one side of the boiler like this. Bam. The blue droplets mean water, and that's what you should connect to the boiler. So let's take a pipe and do that. The puffy cloud, that means steam, is what comes out of the boiler, and this is now going to go into the steam engine now that they're connected. Except it's not. We have to fuel the boiler first to produce steam. Now that it's connected with water, we can go ahead and throw some coal in it. Just like you would a furnace or anything else. Now it made a noise, but nothing happened. That's because we have not connected power poles to it yet, or anything that uses power necessarily. Before we do, take the burner inserter you made with the yellow arrow pointing towards the boiler like this. So if the boiler was like this, I could just press R until the yellow arrow moves into the boiler just like any other object I've been teaching you how to place. Now place the box you made and connect it to the solid yellow line of the inserter, the side with the pinchers. So we're going to make a iron box. And the side with the pinchers, the thick yellow line right there. Place it down. Now put all the coal you mined into the box. So we're just going to throw this all in here. Nothing happened? That's fine. Time to connect the small electric poles, or again, what I like to call power poles. So put these on your third hotbar square to the right of the gray 1 button right here. Now hitting 3 or the third button will select the power pole out of your inventory. The power pole is not physically in the hotbar, so you don't need to move items in and out of it. Your inventory actually holds the item. The hotbar just selects it, unlike other survival games. Now select the power poles and place them next to your steam engine, so the blue field is showing while you have them selected, is at least partially covering the steam engine. You see that right there? This blue field here is covering the steam engine. Okay, now for a new trick. Select your power pole again, but place it in a way that the wire from the nearby power pole connects to it. Just like this. See that? Connect, 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 connect. If you place it too far away, it won't connect. And so we'll place it right there. Now try it again, but this time hold down left click as you move back to your iron patch like this. See, it automatically places poles for you as you do this. Go ahead and travel up the rest of the way to the iron patch using this method. Stop with the last pole in the iron patch right about here. Now make an electric miner, not the regular miner you've been making this whole time, but this right here. This guy right here, not this one, but this one. Make sure you grab more iron and copper and craft about 4 of them. So we're going to need to make about 3 more. Just control click those. Control click the coal while we're at it. Control click the copper, and we can make 10 more, but we're only going to make 1, 2, 3 more. Now place them in the blue field of the electric pole, exactly like I'm placing them here. So place one like this, and that, and like that. Put the miner on your secondary bar, the first button next to the gray 2 button. So right here. Now make belts. Grab all the iron you can and spam right click these belts until you have about 50. So these are belts right here, and just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Can't make any more, so that's fine. By the way, don't like something that's in your toolbar? Remove it by middle clicking the button. Bam. See how that disappeared? Now place your belts on the first hotbar button like this. Now place them like you would anything else like I'm doing here. So... just like this. Also, a neat trick you can do here, you have a lot of coal, like we have right now. You can fill up your miners and furnaces by just control left clicking everything, and it fills it all up automatically. With the coal selected in your inventory, you just control left click on your miners and your furnaces, and it'll automatically fill them with coal. You don't need to open them up to do it. Similar to control left clicking to take stuff out of it, with an item selected, you control left click and it throws items into it. Also remember, if you don't want the object placed that way, you can hover your mouse over the object and hold right click to pick it up. Just like this. Be careful picking up belts with objects such as iron ore. You'll pick up the iron ore too with the belt and clog your inventory. See this iron ore right here? Now fortunately you can get rid of that by shift clicking it back into the stone furnace. Or grabbing the iron ore selected and control left clicking it into the furnaces that you're using for iron. So by now you should know a few tricks. Notice how there's a lot of things you learned just by following me that I didn't even have to mention just by watching me do it, then doing it yourself. Go ahead and pick up your furnaces again by holding right click on them. So hold right click on them. This will pick up their contents as well and place them in your inventory. So right here, I picked up all the coal that I put in there. I picked up the iron as well. And then you want to place your furnaces like this. And let's make another one for good measure. Since we didn't have the stone last time to make 4. Now we have 4. Now make some yellow inserters. So we made a burner inserter earlier, this guy right here, but we're going to make some yellow inserters. So make 2 for every furnace you have and place them this way. So we have 4 furnaces, so we're going to make 8 inserters. Make sure you put the yellow inserters on the 2 button. This button right here. Now, you don't have to have this set up. You could have your own hotbar configuration, but I encourage you to use mine until you get the hang of this game, because most of what I put on my hotbar is stuff that you're going to need to use. Good rule of thumb too is you want to put the items in your hotbar that you're using all the time on the top hotbar, and then items you don't use all the time but you use frequently on the bottom bar. Like, I don't use miners all the time, but when I do use them, I use a lot of them. Clicking them on my hotbar is easier than opening my inventory. Oh yeah, and put some belts right here. So right over here. Place the inserters down just like this. With the yellow arrows facing exactly where they're facing here. So you want these inserters up top here. You want their yellow arrows facing the belt. And these inserters at the bottom, you want their pinchers facing the belt down here, and you want their arrows facing the furnaces. You want it exactly like this. All the pinchers pointing down, 4 underneath the furnaces, and 4 on top of the furnaces. Okay, you'll notice the inserters are flashing yellow and the furnaces may be flashing red. The red flash has a fuel symbol. This means the furnaces are out of fuel. The yellow flashes have the power plug symbol. This means there's no power connected. If you see a flashing red thunderbolt, that means the object is not getting enough power, even though it's connected. So let's get this operation running. Go ahead and place poles so that the blue fields have every inserter covered. We're going to select our power poles. And we're going to keep it connected like that. And then we're going to connect our inserters, putting the blue field over them, our power poles. Do this in any way you wish. Put fuel in the furnaces if you haven't already. So we're going to go ahead and grab this fuel and start filling them with coal. And make sure your new power poles are connected to the old ones like this. Like this, see here? See how they're all connected? Just like I told you before, you have a lot of coal like this. You can go up to your furnaces and go Control, hold left click, and sweep it across them, and it fills them all with coal. Pretty neat, huh? Now they should all be running. Notice iron plates on the belt. You can pick them up by walking your guy over to them or near them and pressing or holding F. Just like that. See how he's picking them up? But I'm going to show you a better way of collecting these plates. Here, watch this. So we're going to make some inserters. Give me a second here. And we're going to place an inserter right here. And we're going to make a box. And power the inserter with the power pole. Now the inserter is collecting the iron for you. However, it's kind of slow, right? And the belt is all clogged. Let's try this. Bam, bam, bam. Take some inserters and pinchers towards the belt, so they're picking up off the belt and putting it into the box, just like that. Check it out. It's going way faster now. Look at all this iron that we're getting. Pretty cool, huh? You can repeat the same setup with copper. Go ahead and do that. That's your homework. However, one thing you can do, I'm going to teach you a very powerful trick. If you click copy down here at the bottom, this little gray square called copy, click it, all right, your cursor will change. Click and drag across the field over your whole setup like this. Let go, and now you can copy it to your copper mine. And now it makes ghosts, it doesn't build it for you, but now there's no guesswork. You know exactly what you need to build and where and what it looks like. In part 2, we'll go over labs and assemblers and making your first factory. With that, I got a Twitch channel, stop by and say hello sometime. We also have a Discord and we're active. Come join House Valerian. If you want to support my work, I have a Patreon page. Go ahead and check it out. Links are in the description below. Thanks for watching and I'll see you next time.